Hi guys, welcome back to Future Dimensions 360. In today's tutorial, we will be implementing yet another example of React.js. A simple and quiz application we will be implementing in today's tutorial. What I have done here is I had created a very basic and simple React.js application by using npx create react app command. And after that I had integrated Tailwind CSS in my project already. In case you guys don't know about Tailwind CSS, just watch our last tutorial from same series of React projects. But I will give you a little go through. We had installed Tailwind CSS by using command sudo npx space install space minus capital D space Tailwind CSS. After the installation is completed, we had used sudo npx init tailwind css to create a tailwind config file, and we had passed this content here, and secondly in index.css first three lines we had pasted and we had make our project live or run it start working, and our tailwind css is integrated. How we can verify it? Just go ahead to our app.js file, and inside this learn react just pass this class name called text-3xl. That's from Tailwind CSS. You guys can see learn react is very large. If I will make it to MD, it will turn to very small. So this is how you can understand your Tailwind CSS is integrated in your project. Now, first of all, let's create two different folders, one called components and another folder called data. We will be needing data for our quizzes. First of all, let's create another file called quiz list, we can say quiz list. This folder we will be returning, we will create another file called quizlist.js, and here we will be returning our quiz data from this file. We will be creating a quiz of 10 questions, and each question will give you how many marks? 10 marks. Overall 100 marks. How? We can say exports dot, I can say quiz list equals to an array, and each array will contain an object. First key will be ID, that will be a numeric value. Second key will be question, that will be a question. For example, I will say React.js, what is React.js belongs to, okay, framework React.js I can say, or library React.js belongs to. Okay, the answer, for example, I will first of all pass here as this will be a quiz. It will have multiple choices, so I can say options. What will be our option? Option will be an array again, and each array will contain an answer. What will be the 0th index will be, for example, I will say Python. First one I will say Java. The second index I will say Java script, and the third index I will say C hash. So these are the options of my first question. Similarly, I will say answer, that I will keep it as empty string, and correct answer will be our correct answer is JavaScript, that will appear in the correct answer. So this is my first question. Similarly, I will be having a second question. I will say library next JS belongs to, same answers, and I will have a third question that, for example, I will say TensorFlow is used for library. TensorFlow is used for example, I will say 3D modeling. Another one I will say design, UI designing. The fourth one, for example, I will say machine learning, as it's for machine learning. And the last one I will say software architect design. So let's move this one a little bit up, that will be better, and let's copy this one and put it in the correct answer as well. Let's move forward to fourth one. I think it will consume a lot of time to declare the questions, so let's declare 5 only. Let's make the quiz to 5 questions only. So the fourth one will be, for example, I will say the question is which one is used for 3D modeling. Okay, for example, I will say Visual Code, and then the next one I will say PyCharm. Another one I will say Photoshop. There are 5 here. Let's remove this machine learning, it's duplicated here also. Photoshop, and the last one, for example, I will say Blender. And the correct answer is, for example, Blender. Okay. Similarly, we will copy this and write the last question called fifth one. Which one is used for example, which one is used for, let's say React JS hooks launched in, okay, for example, 2017, 2019, 2021 and 2015. Make it up, that will be better, and our correct answer is the 2019. Okay, so this is how our questions are actually declared. Let's move forward and try to set up them. Let me remove all this code from here. So first of all, what we have to do here is we have to make a card in which we can show the questions. Go to component, create a new folder called quiz container. Okay, inside that one I will be creating a new file called quiz container.js. RFC React functional component and quiz container is created already. Okay, let me say this quiz container is actually for example, class name w-96h-auto and mx-auto and my-auto. Okay, I am quizzes. Let's import this quiz container here. Let's move forward to our browser, and you guys can see I am quizzes is appearing in the center of my screen. Let's give it a border a little bit also. You guys can see the borders are there, and then p-4 will be our padding, and then we will make it like rounded. Okay, rounded dash lg, that will be more better, and I will give a little bit shadow dash md as well. So this is how my quizzes container will look like. Each question of the quiz will appear inside this. First of all, I have to set up my questions. How can I set up? I have to do const I will say quizzes list and set quizzes list equals to use state, and inside this I need the quizzes list that will be exported from data quiz list and quiz list. Okay, now this I have to set up in my context API. What I have to do here is export const, later on we will forget, export const quizzes list context, okay, equal to react dot create context. So we had created a context now, and above to header we will say quizzes list context dot provider, and value, what will be our value? We will pass this as an array here. Last time we had passed as an object in our last tutorial. In today's tutorial we will be passing this as an array, okay, to make it more clear, and another way you can understand for setting up providers value. Okay, so what it is saying, one second, here I have to pass this one. So this is how you can pass, because value will take only one parameter. So either this parameter will be object or array or any other thing, it's up to you. This time I'm using I am using an array to pass the providers. So now here I can get the providers. How can I get it? For example, I will say const quiz list equals to use context hook, and what I want to use, for example, I want to use this quiz list context. So my quizzes are available here now. Okay, now what I want to do here is I want to show my quizzes all here. What I have to do here is quizzes list dot map. I have to map them, or for example I will say quiz, and then this round bracket will say h1, and each h1 will say quiz dot question. So this is how I can show questions in my screen directly. So let's move forward to our browser and let's see our all 5 questions are appearing. Now the requirement is that we need in each step single question with multiple choices. Once customer selected the choice, after that the customer can move to the next answer, okay, and his score will appear on the top as well. So for that one, what I have to do here is I will make one div, class name, for example class name w equals to full, okay, flex dash row, and justify end. Inside this one I will say score will appear here. Okay, how I will make the score? Like this, inside p I will say show the score, and the class name will be text dash sm. Okay, so the score is very small here. Initially my score, or anyone's score, will be 0. We'll handle the score later on next at the end, but let's just say initially the score will be 0. I will say score and set score. Okay, and the score will be initially score. So initially the score will be 0. After that, what I have to do here is I have to show the question, each question that is active. Okay, for active question I need another state. I will say active question, okay, and then set active question as well. Okay, initially the 0 question, the question whose id is 1, or I can say 0, will be active. Okay, now let's move forward and create a new folder called quiz card. Okay, and inside this quiz card create another file called quiz card.js RFC React functional component, and it will take quiz as a parameter. Quiz, and this is what quiz, or I will say question, that's more easier. Question, sorry, that will be more convenient for us. So here what we have to do here is we have to show the question. Same thing what we have done here is, let's move it to this one, the quiz card. Okay, let's say I will say quiz card. This will be the quiz card, and question will be what question will be there? This one. And which question will go? Let's remove this mapping here. Which one will go from here forward? Which one will go forward? The question, active question. For example, the 0th index will move forward. Question is not defined. Which line? Line number 14. Line number 14, our question is not defined. Very good. It will be quizzes list. From that list, we will be passing the 0th index at the beginning. Okay. So it's saying element have invalid type. Okay. For example, I will pass 0. Quizzes list element. Let's try to comment out this one and try to console.log our quizzes list. Okay, let's say inspector, go to consoles, and our console have all the quizzes on 0th index, first index, second index. Let's say on 0 index, what's there? 0 index is one quiz, so it should go here. Quizzes list. So if I am passing this quizzes list 0 as a question, why it's giving me an error? Let me comment out this one. Still there is error? No. Once I am passing this quizzes list, sorry, I haven't saved this one. Now it will work. Very sorry. Let me remove this from here. So now each time I will now create another button here called button. Okay, this button will say next. Okay, there will be button called next, but before passing this button, let me create another div and I will show that button inside the div. I will give some classes to this button also, bg-white, text-black, and text-sm also. So this one px-4 and py-2. py-1 will be fine also. Yeah, here is my button. So this one, for example, I will give it flex and flex-call and gap -4. It will be very nicer. Now you guys can see there is a good gap between these things. Okay, now question is here. Now what I have to do here is I have to spawn questions. In each this click I have to handle something. How can I handle it? Let me say on click. What I have to do here is I have to say console.log. Okay, what will be the log? Sorry, const and handle next clicked equals to an arrow function, and what this arrow function will do, set active question equals to previous active question and previous active question plus 1. Every time whenever next is clicked, the question will be moved to the next question. Okay, so Control Shift S. You guys can see every time whenever I will click, this question will move to the next question. So here what I have to do here is I have to pass this active question here. Active question is giving an error. Cannot read the properties of undefined inspector. What inspector is saying, cannot read the properties of undefined question. Question is empty. Let's see here. Question list is empty. Okay, it should pass every time one question from the quizzes list. This is the quizzes list and active question is 0 initially. Let's do console.log here. Console.log equals to active question. Okay, let me make it to 0 by myself and you guys can see it's 0. What if I will pass it to 1? Then 1 is moved here. Okay, so this one, if I will click on next, for example, let's check it with use effect hook. Use effect hook, and I will check it by using console.log. What I have to do here is I will say active question, and whenever that active question is changed, the value for that active question is changed, what you have to do here is you have to show me the log. Let's remove this one, 1, 2, 3, and this is working very perfectly fine. Okay, let's say this active question, what it will do here is it will take for me instead of this, what I have to do here is I will say keep it undefined and make it active question and by using shift operator like this and pass here active question only. Okay, and this active question will be set up here as soon as this quizzes list is set up. What I have to do here is I have to set up active question. Set active question to what? Quizzes list dot 0. The 0 one will be the active question. Okay, then next time what you have to do here is whenever you will click on handle next click, what you have to do, you want to have the next question to be in set active question. So what you have to do here is you have to do quizzes list, previous one, and then inside an arrow function what you have to do here is quizzes list return, what you have to return, quizzes list dot find, what you have to find from quizzes list. This is the quizzes list dot find, 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 and I will say question equals to question dot id double equals to this one active question dot id plus 1. Okay, because why? Every time we are increasing id plus 1. So what we have to do here is we have to set up the next question inside the active question state variable. How? By getting the previous question. Okay, previous active question dot id, what is the id? Plus 1. When it's matched in the quizzes list, you have to change the active question. You guys can see now my questions are getting changed. Now what I have to do here is I have to show your result as well. Okay, initially I will say result and set result equals to undefined. Okay, until and unless your results are undefined, it will show you what this div what is here. Okay, I will pass this all div inside the fragment, otherwise we will show another fragment. that will be another answer, like your results will be here. For example, I will say design results will be here. Later on we will show that. Okay, for example, like this it will be. Okay, like this. Okay, and for this one, let's copy this fragment here and put it here as well, and copy this from here and put it here as well. So until and unless your result is empty, it will show you the results. Let me see here. I will say P and I will say your results are here. Okay, what we will do here is I will say if active question dot id double equals to 5, if it's 5, then what you have to do here is set result equals to, let me say pass. I will implement logic here later. Implement logic later. In few minutes we will be implementing. Otherwise, just set this active questions here like this directly. Okay, so what will happen here is, let me hit save. First of all, if it's active question dot id double equals to 5, your results are here. Very sorry, it should be like this, because if it's empty then go inside, if it's not empty then come here. Otherwise we have to swap them from down, we have to make it up. 1 2 3 4 5, your results are here. Okay, 1 2 3 4 5. Okay, let's design the down part. Okay, in the card, what I have to do here is, first of all I have to write down here h1 and I have to say question number and I will say question dot id. This will be my question, and then let me say class name, and the class name will be text dash left. My text will be starting from left in this one, text dash left, and you guys can see my question started from left now. And I will say class name text dash lg, it will be okay, lg. Yep, let me do the same text to my question as well. Okay, so this is my question number 1. Now what I have to do here is I have to pass the same thing here as answers, answer answer. So here will be our answers, and what will be our answers? I will say, for example, question dot options dot map. I have to map all the options, option, and then each option will be our mapping index. For example, I will say, let me make this one as P also, this also P, this also P, and this also P. Make this one as H4 and this one also H4, H4 and H4, and this one should be P also. All the options should be P. It's option, not options. So you guys can see all the answers are appearing here. Let me change this to option. So you guys can see this is the option, like Python, JavaScript, and this. And what I have to do here is I have to pass the key as well. What I have to do here is I will say key, and here I will say key plus 1 full colon space. It should be key, not key. So you guys can see question number 1, library React JS belongs to answer Python, JavaScript, Java, and this. Next one, next one, next one, next one. So our questions are already appearing accordingly. What I have to do here is now I have to implement the functionality of correct and incorrect answers. How I can mark them as correct and incorrect? First of all, I have to pass this set scores method as parameter to my quiz card. Where is my quiz card? This one. Set score equals to set score. Let's hit save and take this set score here as well. Now what I have to do here is I have to write an onClick event in the P that is coming inside my, that helps me to spawn any kind of options available inside the question. Let me say handle click. Okay, handle option click I can say. Okay, let's hit this one. We will say const handle option click equals to an arrow function, and what arrow function will do? An arrow function will do set scores, but how it will set up the scores? If I can say if question, okay, from here what I have to pass in this, let me make this one as an arrow function as well, and here I have to pass option back, which option is clicked. Okay, option back. Okay, question dot what will be the answer? We know very well the answer will be correct answer. For example, question dot correct answer double equals to option. If your correct answer matches to option, set scores equals to, okay, previous score. What will be our previous score? And then I will say previous score plus 10. Every time increase 10 in the previous score. Second thing what I have to do here is I have to pass this handle next click also to change the question. Why? Because I want to change the question automatically once the option is clicked. So I will pass this as a parameter or as a props to my card as well, and I will call this one directly here. Either it's clicked or no. And then secondly what I have to do here is I have to say border, border, it's border, and then I have to pass mb minus 2 in each one. Okay, and then px minus 4 as well. So this should be your answers. Once you will click on Python, you guys can see handle next click is not a function. Handle next clicked is not a function. Handle next click, I have to hit save here as well. So let me see. Once I will click Python, I move to next question and my score doesn't change. Control C. If I click on JavaScript, you guys can see that's the correct answer and my scores are getting changed. There is another way. Instead of moving this from here to here and this one as well, what we will do here is we will update the questions and we will update the score, and after that you can click manually to next button to move on, and we will change the colors of the correct answers also, so user will understand which one is the correct answer. If they were clicked on the JavaScript, for example, I will say const, okay, answer clicked, okay, and set answer clicked equals to use state, and that is false initially. Okay, now what I have to do here is once this is clicked, I will say set answer clicked to true. Okay. Now what I have to do here is I have to use curly braces because I will spawn some classes dynamically. Okay, now what I have to do here is if the answer clicked is true, okay, if the answer clicked is true, okay, and option, what option you are passing, double equals to which one, question dot correct answer. The option you are passing is equals to question dot correct answer, and then what you have to do here is you have to mark this as what you can say border dash red dash 600. Okay, let's move back. If I will click here, you guys can see does not border dash green. Let me pass green, that's more better. Okay, GREEN green. Okay, this one, and handle click will work only if your clicked answer clicked is false. Okay, if your answer clicked is false, then it will work. If it's got true, then your handle click will not work anymore. Okay, let's move it. I clicked on Python, it doesn't work, it doesn't work. Once I click here, you guys can see it worked properly. Okay, and then I can move to next question. Okay, so this is how your, as soon as you are changing the question, you have to change this answer click as well. How you can change that one? By using use effect hook. Very normal. You guys can say use effect hook will do what? As soon as the question got changed, what you have to do here is set answer clicked false. So initially it's false. I click JavaScript, it got true. I move forward. I click anywhere, it will not work. Once I click JavaScript, it work. I will move forward. I will click anywhere, it not work. Machine learning, it works only. So this is how you can move to forward to the original question. So there is another thing. If your answer is correct right now only, you are restricting to select any other answers. So once you click this one, Control Shift X, I will say this one. Okay, for example, if you move it out, once you click here, if you click on wrong answer, it will not work. See, if you click on wrong answer, it will not work anymore. It will show you any other answer as correct. So if you click on wrong answer, that should be turned to red as well. How come that will be turning to red as well? Let me say, if this one, just change it to this, and if both are true, okay, if this is true and this is true as well, you will move to here. Otherwise you have to check if this one is true, okay, and this is false, the answer is, so what you have to write here, border border dash red dash 400. How we have done this one? Let me go on with this one more time. Okay, let's say these are our other classes. What we have done is, if answer clicked is true, that's mean you had clicked the option one time here. As soon as you will click the answer, your answer will get true. Until and unless your question will not be changed, your answer will not turn to false. Okay, so if you had clicked the correct answer, your scores will be incremented by 10. And what will happen here with the classes, your answer clicked once it's true and your options is matched to correct option, that option will turn to green. Rest all will say, if the answer is clicked already, turn to red. Make it to 600 again, that will be better. So these are all white. As soon as I click this one, see, all the other are red and the green is already greened, and your score doesn't increase. Whatever you will click now, you are useless because you click the answer already. Let's move forward. Again you click the answer already. Let's click here. Again you click the answer already. Let me click this one correct, and you see your answer is already 10. Let me see. Let me click here correct also. Your scores are now 20. So let's see, from 50 your passing score is 20. Okay. So if you come here to your container, you guys can see if the active question dot id is 5, then what you have to do here is you have to check your scores greater than or equals to 20. Okay, what you have to do here is set results to pass, otherwise set results to failed. Okay, so otherwise set results to failed, and here what you have to do is, for example, class name, what you have to do here is you have to again say, for example, okay, this one is if results double equals to pass. Okay, if results are pass, what you have to do here is you have to show something like this. I will say congratulations, you are passed with how many marks? Scores. Okay, we can say border border and then border border dash green dash 600, and we can say p minus 8. Similarly, if you are failed, it will turn to red, border will be red, and we can say we are very sorry, you are not able to achieve minimum passing scores of 20. Okay, and your score is, for example, score. Let's hit save, go back to our browser. Let me see our app, how it working. The first question, the answer is JavaScript. Let's move forward. Second question, answer is JavaScript. Let's move forward. Third question, answer is TensorFlow for machine learning. Let's move forward. Fourth question, answer is Blender. Let's move forward. Last question, answer is 2019, and you say congratulations, you are passed with 50 marks. Okay, that's it. And let's see, let's hit again, reload. Let me hit the wrong answers this time, and 20. We will take 10 this time only. Okay, Blender, we will keep it as true, and then this one also. No, our score is only 10. So you can say we are sorry, you are not able to achieve minimum passing score of 20. Your score is 10. So this is how you can do the quiz application in React.js. Let's move ahead, again move back, and how we have done this is, first of all, we had created a very basic and normal application with sudo npx create react app, and then our application name is quiz. Then the second step, we had integrated Tailwind CSS in our project. How we had integrated Tailwind CSS? Sudo npm space install space minus capital D space Tailwind CSS. Then after creating Tailwind CSS, we had initialized Tailwind CSS, sudo npx initialize Tailwind CSS. After that, init, not initialize, init is the command. And then after that, this file is created. We had copied this line of code from Tailwind documentation. Otherwise, you can directly understand this also. You are passing this by letting the Tailwind to understand that inside source folder, any file with JS extension, JSX extension, TS and TSX extension, just apply Tailwind on that. After that, we had gone to index.css file, and we had copied these 3 lines to apply Tailwind CSS in our application. Then we had moved to quizzes list. We had created a static quizzes list. this answer is useless. We had still kept it in our project. Later on in the coming series we will be seeing that one as well, but we had created an id with auto increment number 1 2 3 4 5. Question will be a string always, and option will be an array of options always, and correct answer will always remains in our each object of question. Okay, then in the application we had app.js, we imported that one, set it up a context, and then we had set up that list in the state API, and then by using context we had set it up these quizzes list and set quizzes list function along the in the complete application. And we had created a quiz container. Inside quiz container we will be needing 4 different state variable. One of them will catch the quizzes list from context API. Second one will be the one that will shows us the scores. Third one will be the one that will show us which question is active right now. The fourth one will show us the results. Then use effect will be the hook that is always doing setting active question to quizzes list 0 as soon as the quizzes list is changed. Initially first time it will run, later on we are not changing our quiz list anymore, so it will just run one time only. Then after that what you have done is we had created a fragment inside results. If the results are not there, we have to show questions. If the results are there, we have to show results. First of all, just see results. If it's pass, show the sentence in green mark with green borders in the card. If it's failed, just show the sentence with paragraph with red border. Later on we can come here, we are showing the scores on top of each card, and then we are passing the questions if there is any active question available. Initially we had activate the first question, and then after that we are passing this active question. After that, this next button is helping us always to set up the next question. What will be the next question? In case the questions are not reaching to 5, because we have total 5 question, we are changing the question always to next one. By what? By finding from the quiz list next ID by using +1. Okay, otherwise just we are checking the score and setting up the result pass or fail. If we came inside quiz card, in the quiz card what we are doing is we are showing up the question number, then question, then answer in mapping by using map method. Inside that one we are showing P, that will handle your click event on what? On your card. Okay, after that what we are doing, we are showing the option always by using 1 plus index ID, because it's starting from 0, every time it will show +1 +1. Then here in the classes name we are saying if the answer clicked is true. This is answer click, that is showing that this question is one time clicked already, and the option is matching to correct option. Just turn that option to green border. Otherwise, if answer is clicked already, turn all the rest to red borders. Okay, so this is showing that if you had clicked the correct answer or no. If you are clicking and your correct answer is correct, we are setting up the scores to +10 again already, and this set answer clicked is turning to false as soon as the question is changed. The question is getting changed in the container as soon as you were clicking the next button by using handle next clicked option. So this is how you can create a very basic React JS application. I will share with you guys the code of this application by using GitHub in the video description. In case of any question, any query, you can comment us in the same video, or you can reach us in our mailbox as well. Don't forget to like and subscribe our channel. See you in the next video. Take care. Goodbye.